you? This one. Oh my god, he
Looks
looks
like we got a
ridiculous.
new visitor in the old Brahmin pen. Not many people coming here in a hurry, only passing through. And if you're passing through, you picked a bad time. Road north has gone to hell, and if I let a caravan through, they won't make it.
You sure seem like you have enough soldiers.
Soldiers, no. Recruits, yes. And the Mojave outpost has been ordered to have a standing force at the NCR perimeter at all times. So sending anyone out reduces the outpost's numbers, and would be in direct violation of my orders from back west.
Is NCR sending more troops?
Sending more troops, yes. To reinforce the outpost, no. Troops head through here on their way to McCarran, or to the front lines at Forlorn Hope. Or they're on leave, on their way to New Vegas to piss away their pay. All of them passing through.
You sound frustrated.
Frustrated? No, I have my orders. Signed and approved all the way up the chain from Kimball. And I understand the reasons. The outpost isn't a Legion target, yet. Not like Vegas or the Dam. But if the caravans get choked here, that's gonna bite NCR hard. Anyway, didn't mean to talk your ear off. Some days, just feel like more requisition forms and daily reports come across my desk than results.
Any way I can help?
Help? Now look, I appreciate... you know what? Yes, I could use the help. You look like you can handle yourself. I need to get the caravans moving again. That means clearing a path north. There's too much crawling the asphalt up the road to allow it.
Sounds like a deal.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Come back here when you're done. I might accidentally lose some supplies to pay you with.
Owner Benning has taken yet another unexpected
Hi.
leave. We spoke to his right-hand man.
Do I seem worried to you, baby? Sometimes a cat just
I'm
needs room to
invincible.
swing. He'll be back. Sure as the cargo drum's got a groovy beat.
We'll have more news for you at the top of the hour. And now, I'd like to play one of my very favorite songs.
There, get him, Lily. Do they even have anything? No. Not really. Is that the best you got? Oh no. Oh god, is my game gonna crash? Oh, that's the best they got. Game crashing. Alright, where's this? Here you are. Fucking handlebar. What up, handlebar?
Appreciate the help. Wish I had more work for you, but nothing else on the radar at the moment.
You mentioned a reward before.
No, I mentioned you might accidentally get supplied, and I meant it. Not allowed to contract mercenaries at the outpost. Still, a requisition form or two can get lost, and they're not gonna come check. So here you go, just between us.
Thanks, handlebar. Be back for a ride later.
Hey,
Oh, she's right there. What up, Cass?
You come around like a bad habit. What's on your mind?
Helped out Jackson and cleared the road north.
Guess that settles that then. Give me that paper. I'll put my name to it. No sense trying to hold the past between your fingers when it's nothing but dirt. All right,
Oh, I didn't want
there
to do
you go.
that.
Caravan's yours. Feel kind of relieved, actually. Guess I didn't realize how much I was carrying around with just the name.
I wanted to let her keep it. Damn it. What will you do now?
No idea. Maybe head back west? Though the idea of heading back there with my tail between my legs isn't appealing.
You could come with me.
You got one too many by my count.
She says, as if that wasn't the entire reason I came here in the first place.
You take care now.
All right, Lily. It's time for you. It's time for you to go.
My, but that Lucky 38 is a large building.
I'm so
and
happy you
so
said that.
Fancy.
As a matter of fact, it's time for us to part ways.
Aw, Grandma will miss her little pumpkin.
I'll
Are
miss
you
you too.
sure?
Miss you too, Lily. Go to the Lucky 38.
Nice children shouldn't play in places like that, dearie. That's the sort of place Leo likes. But if you insist...
You come around like a bad habit. What's on your mind?
You come around like a 70s porno.
That's the question I've been asking myself. No idea. Maybe head back west? Though the idea of heading back there with my tail between my legs isn't appealing.
You could come with me.
Go with you? And why the hell would I do that?
Rude. There's some good responses here. Do you really want to stay in this shithole?
The outpost lost its charm about 3 bottles ago. And that was just this morning. Walking the Mojave with you can't be any worse than here, that's for sure.
Jeez.
Alright, I'm in.
Changed my mind, Cass. Fuck off. He's kind of a bitch.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish...
Welcome back.
Now, Cassidy Caravans has been bought out and is now part of the Crimson Caravan Company.
Very good. On occasion, it's proven to be more profitable in the long run to simply buy out the competition. And this is one of those occasions. It's been a pleasure.
This is a dangerous place, human, especially for your kind. I suggest you turn back. There's nothing good waiting for you further on.
What makes this a dangerous place?
You must have heard her radio broadcasts. Though why a human would follow her invitation here is beyond me, unless you didn't listen very closely. The voice on the radio belongs to Tabitha, the supreme commander of Black Mountain, or as she calls it, the state of Utopatha.
Utopatha.
She took control of this place almost 2 years ago. The super mutants here do whatever she says, and she says humans are to be killed on sight.
I can use my speed check. It sounds like you've had enough of Tabitha. What if you had some help?
Help would improve the odds. Help might just make the difference. All right, if you're good enough at what you do to meet me in the village up near the peak, we can talk further. I'll have a plan by the time I see you, if I see you. Good luck. It's gonna be a lot harder for you to get up there than it will be for me.
Oh, his mouth stopped moving. It's not weird. Oh my god, and he's off. Jesus Christ. Speed racer over here. Definitely don't want him getting the drop on me from... Oh no! I'm so dumb! Fuck! Oh man, that was fucking rough. Jesus. I did bad and I feel bad. You fucking assholes. Deactivate. Yeah, there. Jesus Christ, I get hit by like 3-4 bear traps. This is obviously the way they don't want me to go.
Welcome back, Utopatha. I have with me best friend Tabitha, who has something important.
I can talk into it.
You've interrupted my broadcast, dum-dum, so there better be a conclusion. What is it?
We know dum-dums, you the stupid, not us. We's taking over.
A dum-dum revolt, you say? Then I sentence all dum-dums to death!
Or at least 2 birds, 1 stone. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. Bam! Yeah, I could check his security. The robot lies inert on the table, giving no indication of having worked recently or ever. A nameplate on part of the surface is scratched and mostly faded, but you can still make out the faint word Rhonda. You quickly ascertain that the robot's current AI state is set to hibernate, likely a self-defense mechanism after the unit suffered catastrophic damage. Whoever repaired it probably didn't know how to reset its AI. After flipping the right switch, the robot jumps to life.
Hello. Could you please direct me to Mistress Tabitha?
Sure.
Thank you very much. My internal clock says it's been 6 years, 52 days, 40 minutes, and 13 seconds since I last spoke to her. I hope she hasn't gotten lonely.
Oh boy. Oh boy, Rhonda. Oh boy.
Rhonda? Is that you? It is, Mistress Tabitha. How I've missed you so. This stranger here fixed me up right as rain. Is she a friend of yours?
I don't know how to thank you for bringing Rhonda back to me, stranger. Here, take this.
Is it a
I
key?
won't be needing it anymore.
Need a key. Yes. What will you do now?
I don't know. It's been so long since I lost Rhonda that I'm not sure.
Mistress Tabitha, we should be heading off. Our journey has been much delayed, but we can catch up if we hurry. Come along now.
I don't even remember where we were going, but it'll be good to travel around with Rhonda again.
I got karma for that. I think that's the first time this whole game where I gained karma. Insisted that I change the lock on my door to require a password using one of the other computers I fixed. Password is 1 through 9. Okie dokie. Hey, buddy. I've come to save you.
Took you long enough, so can I go now?
Who are you?
Name's Raul. Raul Alfonso Tejada. I'm the mechanic around here.
Really? Why does your jumpsuit say Miguel?
Probably because it used to be Miguel's. Whoever he was. How about if you let me go, huh, boss?
What do you mean took me long enough?
Sorry. I assumed the only reason you'd fight past a horde of super mutants and pick the lock on my cell is if you heard my cry for help on the radio. But maybe you're just sightseeing. So since the door's open and all, can I go now?
It's okay by me. Enjoy your freedom.
Alrighty then. I'll just head out, alone, by myself, into the dangerous waste.
Actually, do you want to tag along with me?
Sorry, boss, but as much as I like to risk getting killed by your side, you seem to already have some help.
Tell me about yourself.
Sure, boss. What do you want to know?
Well, who are you?
Name's Raul.
No, you already said that.
Sure.
Where are you from?
I was born just outside Mexico City. My family had a little ranch there. I'm an open book, boss. Granted, the book's in Spanish and some of the pages have fallen out, but I'm an open book.
How old are you?
Old enough to know better, boss. Old enough to know better. I'm an open...
What's Petro Chico?
You never heard of Petro Chico? Un amigo de Poseidon Energy. Of course not. They were an oil company in Mexico back before the war. I'm an open...
How'd you end up at Black Mountain?
Well, boss, when a giant insane super mutant asks you to stay put, you do what you're told. Well, maybe you don't. But I'm just a broke-down old man.
How did Tabitha find you in the first place?
It's stupid, boss. I used to listen to the radio broadcast, just to pass the time. Well, one day the signal stopped, so I figured I'd try to find a transmitter. I'm a pretty good repairman. Or I was before my eyes started to go. Anyway, I found Black Mountain and offered my services. But Tabitha decided I was useful enough to keep around. Permanently. I'm an
Come, Raoul. Adventure awaits.
Sorry. Sure. Anything you say, boss.
Where the fuck is Cass? Alright, Cass, time for you to go.
Well, now that I'm free of the outpost, was wondering if you'd mind making a detour. I'd like to pay my respects to the end of Cassidy Caravans. Check out the site where they died.
Sure. Where was it hit?
Upside of Vegas, here, Tal. Trapped at the Mojave outpost, so I wasn't able to run there when I heard. Been weeks since it was hit, so the site's probably a Cazador nest by now.
How did you catch word of it?
Got word back on what happened from Rangers. Guess they found enough in the wreckage to identify it.
Do you think there's anything left?
Only wishful thinking on my part, most likely. At the least, I'd like to pay my respects. I got them into this mess. I owe them that much.
Okay.
Thanks. Some of the caravan might be ash, but we were expecting raiders and over-inquisitive NCR border guards. There might be something left. If I'm there with you, shouldn't be hard to spot. And I'd prefer to see the bodies with my own eyes.
Okay.
Ask them then. If you're sure. Your loss.
Lucky 38.
All right. Don't be long. Robots there give me the creeps.
She's gone reluctantly to the Lucky 38. Whiskey Rose Perk.
Oh, it's you. You need something repaired or something?
Let's
Andy's
go.
better than staying here. Let's go.
Petro Chico. Alright. Veronica.
No offense, but you look like you've traveled a long way down some bad roads. Where'd you come from?
The grave.
Huh. Well, in that case, I take it back. You look pretty good, given the circumstances. Well, welcome
is her
then.
name
I'm
Veronica?
Veronica.
Never
I live in a
would've
hole in the
guessed.
ground.
You live in a hole in the ground?
Well, a bunker, if you want to get technical. I think it sounds more interesting my way. But I'm not there much anymore. I'm usually out here picking up food and supplies for my family, whatever they need.
Do you just leave your family in the bunker?
Yeah, I'm not worried. They can handle themselves. But somebody has to get the groceries, know what I mean? And actually these days, I think they'd rather have me out here anyway. But that's a whole other story. So listen, can I ask you something on the level?
Go ahead.
I had a run-in with this group calling themselves the Brotherhood of Steel. Pretty strange bunch. Do you know anything about them?
I can use my intelligence. They're usually harmless unless you use advanced technology around them.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem for me. I can't afford anything like that. Hey, so where are you headed anyway?
and just kind of drift from place to place.
Just wherever the wind takes you, huh? I like that. Keeps things interesting. I'll be honest, you're the first person I've run across out here that looks like she can really handle herself. There are places I've never been to that'd be too dangerous for just me. What do you think? Maybe we could travel together, help each other out.
Where are you hoping to go? Or no, don't you have a family to feed?
Like I said, they can handle themselves. And I'm not the only one getting supplies for them. It's a big family.
Where are you hoping to go?
Oh, nowhere in particular, really. Just hoping to see more of the world, looking for a fresh perspective. I want to see how different groups have adapted to survive in the Mojave. See if there's something I can learn from.
You don't look like much. What do you bring to the table?
Good. That's the look I was going for. Trust me on this one, though. You'll be glad you brought me along. If I turn out to be a burden, we can part ways at any time. No hard feelings.
All right, Veronica.
Couldn't get enough of talking to me the first time, huh?
I'm
Good.
ready.
I'd hoped you'd come around. Shall we?
We shall.
Now you're talking. One thing you should know first, though. I asked you about the Brotherhood because I'm one of them. I know, but I had to know how you react when I told you. We have made a lot of enemies. You still okay bringing me along?
As long as you're honest with me from now on.
Sure. Just don't ever ask me if your outfit makes you look fat. Well,
Because it does.
thanks for taking a chance on a naive young girl from California with stars in her eyes and a pneumatic gauntlet on her hand. Let's hit the road, huh?
All right. We have amassed them all. The whole gang's here. Whole gang. Ah, ladies. You're my favorite. Each and every one of you.
What's up?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm really very boring. You'd get better stories out of a Freeside junkie.
You always deflect personal questions?
Only to obfuscate my past association with a fascist paramilitary organization. I'm joking, of course. I will deflect personal questions at any opportunity. Honestly, it isn't too difficult if you have half a brain and aren't a complete jerk. I wanted to help people and I enjoyed learning, so I signed up. New Vegas is in trouble, so I came out here. If someone doesn't step up and try to help the people here, it's going to end very badly.
Where'd you get your medical training?
The followers taught me everything I know about medicine. Despite our humble abode here in New Vegas, we have great facilities back in the NCR. We may have overextended ourselves by setting up camp in Freeside, but the people here need help from someone. If not us, who? All right.
What's your opinion on the current situation?
It could be better. If we can find a way to work toward the independence of New Vegas, that would be ideal. But really, as long as you don't help out the Legion, anything's better than that.
Oh, it's you. Anything's better than staying here. Let's go. You really enjoy dragging me into situations where I get shot at, don't you, boss? Questions, boss? You mean you don't know everything there is to know already?
Can you tell me anything about Mr. House?
Just how old do you think I am, boss? Because I can pretty much guarantee I'm older than that. Let me tell you a story from before the Great War. Everybody knew Robert House. He was a genius, a superstar. Founded Romco at 22. Dated Hollywood starlets, the works. They say he saved Las Vegas. I was in Mexico City when the bombs dropped. Even from there, we could see House's defensive rockets shooting down the incoming missiles. Everybody assumed he died in the war. Maybe he did. But his robots are still out there roaming the waste. And now, a Mr. House rules New Vegas.
Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat?
You can't seriously think they're the same, Mr. Hal.
Maybe not. Maybe the new guy is just a clever raider chief with knowledge of history. Maybe he just left instructions for his robots to carry out in his name. Or maybe Robert House uploaded his brain pattern into a computer and rules to this day a godless, soulless machine god. Maybe the whole thing's a crazy coincidence. Who knows?
Maybe there's a connection. Can you remember anything else about Robert House?
I remember there were some weird stories about him, especially near the end. There was a tell-all in El Periódico de las Arboridas by a starlet House dated. She said they never, Now don't make me spell it out, boss. Anyway, she said all he wanted to do was scan her brain and make her dress up in different outfits.
That's sickening.
It was quite the scandal, at least in the Latin American tabloid journalism market. You're a veritable geyser of curiosity, boss.
Do you know anything about a goon named Benny? Wears a checkered coat, carries a big pistol?
Benny, huh? Sorry, boss. Doesn't ring a bell. Then again, my brain isn't as sharp as it used to be. You're a very...
What's your take on the NCR?
They're all right, I suppose. Had a bit of a tough going there at the beginning. You know their first town was nearly wiped out by raiders. Anyway, they got their good points and their bad. Just like a lot of the old governments from before the war. Any question?
How do you feel about Caesar's Legion?
I don't really have a problem with them. People around here tend to see them as invading marauders planning to burn and pillage the countryside. But I've been to Arizona, boss. Before the Legion, it was a nasty place. So thick with raiders, you couldn't trade with a town 2 miles up the road. Caesar's laws aren't nice, and their actions aren't always pretty. But then neither am I. But you keep me around. Anything to hold your attention, boss. Questions, boss?
Tell me about New Vegas.
It's big, it's bright, and it's one of the biggest cities still left from before the war. Well, mostly anyway. Used to be just a curiosity. The buildings were pre-war, but it's just as full of raiders and barbarian tribes as any place else. Then Mr. House took over, got the power turned back on, and got the tribes reformed into something civilized. And now they run his casinos for him. Good call. Hey, as long as you're not asking me to go back to Black Mountain.
Hello again, dear. Such a curious little munchkin, aren't you? What do you want to know?
What's the best way for me to use your skills?
Isn't that sweet of you to fret about me? Such a good girl. I can always help you stay hidden from the bad people, so you won't get in trouble. I don't mind fighting, especially to protect you, dearie, but I don't like guns. Give me a good chopper, and Leo and I will go right to work. Yeah! Oh, someone wants to hear Grandma's stories.
I love Lily.
What would you like to hear, Pumpkin?
What kind of medicine are you taking?
Dr. Henry calls them antipsychotics. I don't know what they're supposed to do. They just make my memory fuzzy. Oh! What do you need, sugar? Yeah.
Okay.
Is it time?
Is it time?
What is it?
Were you at Bitter Springs with First Recon?
I was in a lot of places with First Recon. I don't really remember.
You must have been at Bitter Springs. What happened there?
That part of my life's over now. And so is his discussion.
Are you an outlaw now?
No. People die out there. Often enough that no one worries about blame. They're too anxious to forget it happened in the first place, I guess. Besides, I was on break when it happened. Okay.
Does the name Benny mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't. Okay.
What can you tell me about New Vegas?
It's NCR land for the most part. We tamed it. Now we're settling it. A lot of people complain about it, but they forget what it was like before we showed up. It's a lot of territory to secure. Too much, even for a big army like the NCR's. Okay.
How do you feel about the NCR?
Coming east was about securing the land so people could live without fear. It's not always that simple, but I think the cause is still right. And God help us if they lose. Okay.
Any thoughts about Caesar's Legion?
Yeah, lots of thoughts. All about the best ways to kill them. All right. If that's what you think.
Not sure who this friend of yours is, but if he's looking down on Vegas, he's either God or the moon. Ask him then.
Where'd you get that pendant?
Gift from my dad, along with my name. Rose of Sharon Cassidy. Mom said he got the name out of some old world book about dirt pilgrims. Name sure sounds sweet, though. Anyway, pendant's a little rose. Originally thought it was one of Mom's tribal necklaces, but no. Came from Dad.
Your mother was tribal?
You know, like one of the tribes from the east. We got them out west, too. NCR's herding them up, though, domesticating them. Mom was from east of the Colorado, though. Not sure what tribe. Was before the time Caesar rounded them up, made them Legion. She walked a hell of a way until she crossed paths with my dad, and he convinced her to stop walking. And lucky for me, he was a horny old bastard.
Tell me about your dad.
Not much to tell. He ended up walking east one day when I was young and never came back. Not a family deserter like some, though. Mom died waiting for him, and she had me to raise. She was sick, but she held off dying until I was old enough to be getting into trouble with the boys. As for Dad, I figure he just got himself lost or dead. Happens. And I'm not all boo-hoo about it, so save your glass for someone who's crying.
A fraud. Any idea why he went east?
Not a clue. When he left, I was too in my crib to understand why, and around the time Mom passed, I was too into my teens to listen. Got his name, got this pendant, and that's about it.
Where did you learn how to shoot?
Short of caps is what taught me mostly. Ammo's expensive, so I learned to make every shot count. And hear tell my dad was a crack shot, so I don't want to dirty the family name. Not out of pride. Respect.
And where'd you learn how to handle dynamite?
Dynamite's for when you don't have enough bullets, want to clear a pass, or scare off geckos from a caravan. Some of Twister's Out of the Divide can block off a pass in no time, so you learn how to handle powder so you don't get trapped somewhere. Any event, I prefer shooting if it comes down to an argument. Don't worry, I'll carry my weight if a disagreement arises.
Are there any other weapons you know how to use?
What, you mean like spears? No, none of that. Mom was a tribal, but she didn't teach me anything like that. Ask him then.
You any good in a fight?
I'm fair with chucking dynamite, not bad with a pistol, if I do say so myself. Carry a knife, too, but that's more for practical reasons. Prefer settling things with my fists, though. Made more friends than corpses in bar fights. Plan on keeping it that way. Don't think I'm some kind of Vault City pacifist, though. If things get heated, I'll start shooting. Trust me. Ask him.
Is whiskey your drink of choice?
Not sure if I chose it or it chose me. Dad ran a bar a long time ago, and it was a labor of love, Mom said. Didn't sound like it made her happy. Still, I'm guessing I got some of Dad's love of whiskey in me because the burn suits me fine. Used to call me Whiskey Rose back west, before I punched enough people, so now they say it. But quiet, and when I'm not around.
Whiskey Rose?
Yeah, on account of my name. And the blossoms on my cheeks when I drink too much. Won most of those fights, too. Can take a hell of a punch and give it right back when I've got a bottle in me. It's all in how you drink it, though. There's a trick to it. When we pass the bottle, I'll show you how it's done.
Where do you usually go to drink?
There's usually a bar in every stop along the road. Helps me sleep. Well, not really, but I tell myself that. Sometimes I have to brew it myself if I'm too far from a bar. Not quality, but I'm for anything that takes the edge off the day.
Wait, you can make moonshine?
Yeah. What else are you gonna do with an empty bottle? Wait for it to refill itself? Get me some ingredients out of the Mojave, an empty bottle, a little time, and I'll keep us stocked.
So, maize, 2 mut fruits, yeast, and a fission battery? Next time, maybe.
All right, then.
The fission
Carrot.
battery is one of the things I haven't been picking up, I think.
So, what, we chase that little cocksucker down or what? He's gotta stop running sometime, and that's when we'll get him. Ask?
How'd you get started in the caravan business?
Started? Took to it like a fish to water. Well, if you know what a fish is.
What the hell's a fish?
It's this slimy, scaled thing. Like a lake lurk, except no legs. Well, most times. They're like birds, except they stay underwater. Anyway, I've seen pictures. One guy even had one above his bar in Reading, except it was made of pre-war plastic. Used to say it could sing, but I figured he was on a jet rush.
So you just started in the caravan?
Actually, it sort of fell on me. My feet get antsy if I stay in one place, like the Mojave Outpost. It was driving me crazy, that feeling of being trapped there. So thanks for that.
So you traveled a lot?
Yeah, west, east, and passed through places enough times people would sometimes pay me some caps to take something to the next town.
Like a courier?
Well, not as glamorous, I guess. Roads back west were safer in most places. Most.
Mostly.
Anyway, occurred to me I could scratch the traveling itch and get paid for it. Cassidy caravans formed around me. Rest is history.
How's caravan life in the Mojave?
Well, I'm not one for soft living. Or soft men, let me tell you. I'm guessing neither are you.
Not sure I understand your answer.
The caravan fighting here in the Mojave, it's been downright brutal. The amount of caravan space you reserve for ammo alone. And if it's not raiders, powder gangers, it's NCR tolls. They need to get the money from somewhere, even if it's Vegas bound.
Do you deal mostly with the NCR?
Anyone wise does. Vegas families pay on time, from what I've heard. Even the Omertas. The white gloves pay on time, but they're creepy. Deal with anyone else, though, you're taking a big risk.
What about Caesar's Legion?
The Legion? What about them? I don't trade caps or supply anyone who keeps slaves and treats women like Brahmin in those camps of theirs.
Do they deal with any caravans at all?
There's some caravans that deal with the Legion, yes. And as much as it pains me to say it, any caravan marked by the Legion is safe as houses. They guard their roads, their supply lines. Even fiends would hesitate before going after any trader dealing with Legion.
You sound frustrated.
I am. If NCR took the same stand and committed patrols to the roads, then I'd think that'd solve a lot of their problems right there. But they don't. Caravans get butchered in the Mojave all the time, like mine. And so fucking close to Vegas you could see it from the wall.
NCR sounds like it has a lot to answer for.
NCR tries. It's just that trying doesn't mean a whole lot when you're paying your respects to the dead. And Legion, from what I've heard, they don't do the stop tolls on the roads or in the outposts like some NCR quartermasters do. You're lucky if you turn a profit sometimes. If some new officer gets assigned a route, the fees just get worse.
Any other differences between Legion and NCR?
Much as I hate the Legion, caravan life would be a hell of a lot easier if they ran the roads. Well, as long as those companies were run by men, and that's the biggest issue I see. And it's a shame, but I think there's people on the NCR side who feel more strongly than I do.
What do you mean?
Some caravans deal with the Legion now because the security. If towns could get the same protection, a lot more tempting than you'd think. A bunch of people would be willing to side with the Legion to not have to worry about fiends and boomers and powder ganger attacks. It's not hard for some folks to sell freedom when the alternative is worse. Especially if being with NCR is going to get you on a Legion cross.
What do you think about the NCR?
NCR's my country, and I support it. Anyone who says otherwise, I'll feed them my knee. I know which side of the firing line I'm on in the Mojave, just so you know.
There's a butt in there.
Yeah, there is. I'm not some blind, flag-saluting, do-as-they-will NCR lover. They're family. But let me tell you what family means. You ever had a brother? Some dumbass younger brother, say, who knocked up the pastor's daughter, can't hold a job, and is home away as a jail cell? That's NCR. Their compass is spinning all the time.
So they lack direction.
They try to put their stake in everything they see. Nobody's dick's that long. Not even Long Dick Johnson, and he had a fucking long dick. Thus the name.
Yeah, I got that part, thanks.
So NCR tries to hold on to everything. They can't, because it's too big for them to get their arms around. They can't guard the roads. They can't put a line of troops around the Mojave. It's just greed that makes the heads back west even try.
So the Mojave suffers.
Aside from the people in the towns, it's the soldiers that suffer for it most. Ever seen NCR troops asked to go after gangs at 3-to-1 odds? That bear flag doesn't make them bulletproof. And when those gangs were caused by NCR in the first place, like the powder gangers, Caesar on a crutch. Don't get me started there.
So what's the alternative?
Look, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want the Brotherhood or the Followers or the Vegas families running the Mojave. All of them are a different kind of fuck-up. NCR just has some shaping up to do. Maybe Caesar kicking them in the nuts is a nice wake-up call, is all I'm saying. I just wish Caesar would kick the heads of NCR, not the feet. I've fucked a soldier in my time. They don't need to get fucked by their orders.
What can you tell me about New Vegas?
Much as anyone else. Cazador Trap. You fly in, the city sucks a pint out of you, then you're out on the street. NCR makes a habit of going there and dumping cash. Only the Strip gets fat off it. Couldn't tell you much more than that. Not really one for New Vegas when there's enough dumpwater bars in the Mojave to last me.
Do you know anything about Mr. House?
Not much. And I haven't had occasion to look for anything more than that. I've heard what most people know. He's said to run New Vegas. He runs the robots. But, well, no one's really seen him. Well, except you, that is. Don't have all the...
Okay.
If you're sure...